Hello, today is February 11th, 2017. My call Thursday night was that we should have a trending Friday with a low in the first hour of trading and a rally to new all-time highs, and that's what happened. During the day, MEJT gave a few signals. It said ultimately lower and higher prices would print, which they did. Early on, it said ultimately lower prices would print. We hit the minimum, but it's just the minimum. Almost always we get more than that, which means almost always we should undercut 2311.10. Doesn't mean we have to do it Monday. But if this high holds, I think that will happen. Here's why. We had a day which almost always closes at the day's high. When that fails to happen, it is a negative pattern unless it's invalidated by overcoming this high promptly, ideally by having a gap over it. It's also negative when you gap up, hit new highs, and can't hold on to the middle of the day high. It's particularly so on the Friday because when the market's rallying to new all-time highs and just a few hours of trading are left before the weekend begins, it's unlikely that the amateurs are going to begin selling stocks. It's usually the professionals who are doing all the selling here. Again, all this is invalidated if we take out this high, but I have a lot of resistance at this high. The DeMark indicators haven't been that great in this 8-year bull, but we do have sells on the 30-minute chart. And on the 78-minute chart, and we have them right at the high. Here's a Fibonacci grid. You can see how when you take the range from Friday's high to this low, how the standard Fibonacci numbers outline the consolidation in the middle of the pattern, which is where the consolidations often happen. Note also we have a channel, and we hit the upper part of that channel right at Friday's high. Those are all strong resistance levels. Well, this was the count I used to have. That has to be thrown out because if you have a 5-wave formation, you can't have the middle wave be the shortest. So let's just get rid of these things. We're obviously still in the consolidation because of the overlap. So if that's A, and that's a B, what if we have an end to the current B wave move right at Friday's close? Well, often wave A and wave C will be equal. So if that's the case, we get a wave C low, which I calculate as 2275.32. It's not really a huge drop, but it's a drop from Friday's high, 2275.32. Now if that's the end of wave 4, often wave 5 is going to be equal to wave 1. And counting from that 2275 level we talked about, wave 5 would end about 2373.83, and that would be gray B. So if you start at about 2373 and you have wave gray C equal to wave gray A, That's about 2373. You'll find out that wave C, gray C, should end around 2051.11, which is this line here. Now what makes 2051.11 for the end of wave C, which is purple 4, interesting? Is that it's right in the middle of the middle wave of the whole pattern. It's a perfect fit, and that's exactly where you want it to be, so it gives some credence to that count. Now, if 2051.11 is the end of wave purple 4, and if wave purple 5 is equal to wave purple 1, which is here, that's about 553 points. And if you add it, you get a high for the move of 2604.12 for the end of the bull. Now here's what makes that interesting. There's your high, 2604.12. There are a number of ways you can check that. One way, you look at this low, you take that low and that high, you set your Fibonacci at 38.2, and it's a perfect fit. And to double check it, you can say this is the true low and that's the retest. If that's the low, the 38.2 level falls right where it's supposed to fall at the 1576.09 high. So it gives a lot of credence to a roadmap with a low at 2275, a high at 2373, a low at 2051, and then a high at 2604.12 to end the bull. This won't happen tomorrow, obviously, but that's a reasonable roadmap for what's going to happen in the future. As far as Monday is concerned, I think this high will be critical. If we go past it, all this analysis is wrong, doesn't work. And if it holds, though, we have an initial target of 2275.32 for the end of the leg, and we have a roadmap for into next year, and that's today's call.